Hello everyone. Today we'll discuss the applications of Newton's rings, which is the part of Unit 1, that is Wave Optics. I am Nidhi Gupta from Department of Physics, JIET, Jodhpur. So in last class we have discussed that what are Newton's rings, how these rings are formed. In this class, we'll discuss what are the applications of Newton's rings, means where we can use these Newton's rings interference pattern. So here you can see there are three applications. First is determination of wavelength of monochromatic light. If we have a source of light whose wavelength is lambda, so we can find the wavelength of that source of light. Similarly, we can find the refractive index, that is mu, of any transparent liquid. And in glass industry, it is widely used to check the optical smoothness of the surface of the glass. Suppose we have a glass surface and we want to check the optical smoothness. Optical smoothness means the disorder of lambda even also is checked through the Newton's rings. So in glass industry, it is widely used. These are the Newton's rings. The center is dark in this pattern, and this is the pattern obtained from monochromatic source of light. So in laboratory, suppose we want to determine the wavelength of light, that is lambda. So first of all, we have to use that source of light whose wavelength is to be determined and observe this type of pattern. This type of pattern is observed using that source of monochromatic light whose wavelength is to be determined. Then the monochromatic light is made incident on the plano-convex lens. Firstly, the light will fall on plano-convex lens and the reflected light is viewed through the travelling microscope. In laboratory, we have the travelling microscope through which we can observe the Newton's rings, and microscope is adjusted till the circular rings came in focus. Then suppose at center the crosswire of microscope is focused and is moved slowly at one side. Suppose this is the ring and this is crosswire. So this crosswire is moved further. Say n number of fringe is this. So this crosswire is set on this fringe. Okay. Similarly, the same ring on the another side, this crosswire is set. So suppose the reading from this side is small a and reading from this side is small b. So diameter will be the difference between these two readings. So for a particular number of ring, of a particular order of ring, the diameter dn can be measured. This dn is equal to a minus b. So these diameters can be measured using this setup and different for the different number of orders. This I have already mentioned. This is the setup in laboratory. The sodium lamp, which is a monochromatic source of light. This is a glass plate which is placed at 45 degree with the incident beam, and the plano-convex lens and glass plate is used, in which in between the air film is formed and this reflected light can be seen through the travelling microscope. Suppose we have measured the diameter, and we already know that the diameter is given by, of any dark ring, is given by root of 4n lambda r. Here we are using dn square. So dn square for the dark ring in reflected light is given by this equation. This equation we have already discussed in the last lecture, that the diameter of nth dark ring is root of 4n lambda r, or in square it is 4n lambda r. Similarly, For n plus pth ring, this is a ring of order n, and for any number p, n plus pth ring diameter we will measure, and dn plus p square will be given by 4n plus p lambda. So order will be changed, the number of ring has changed, n will be replaced by n plus p. All other data will be same. So lambda will be same, radius of curvature will be same. Now so if we subtract these two equations, dn plus p square minus dn square, which is 4n plus p lambda r. So 4n lambda r will be cancelled out. This 4n lambda r and 4n lambda r will be cancelled out. Here p is the difference between rings. Suppose we have taken this ring as second ring and this ring is suppose sixth ring. So p will be the difference between these two rings, which is 6 minus 2 is equal to 4. So lambda can be measured using this formula in laboratory. So in lab we have to measure only the difference of the square of the diameters. And radius of curvature can be measured using the spherometer. Spherometer is a device by which we can find the radius of curvature of a plano-convex lens. So by using these data we can find the wavelength lambda. The next application is we can determine the refractive index of liquid, that is mu. To find this refractive index, the first method is same. What we have to do in this, we have to observe the difference of square of diameter for the air film, which comes out to be like the previous method 4p lambda r. But when you put some small drop of that liquid whose refractive index is to be determined with the help of dropper between the lens and glass plate, the air film is replaced with that liquid film. Now the diameter are again measured for the same value of p. So p should not be changed and we measure again this term. Now mu is not 1. For air film it is 1, but for the liquid film mu has some value. And we also know that the diameter is inversely proportional to root of mu. So mu is introduced here. And when we compare these two equations, we'll get mu is equal to dn plus p square minus dn square for air and dn plus p square minus dn square for liquid. So this mu can be measured using Newton's ring setup. Here what will happen if Newton's rings are seen using white light source? If we use the sodium lamp, which is a monochromatic source of light, will observe the dark and bright fringes. But if white light is used in place of monochromatic source, then some colored ring will be seen with a dark center. Around that dark center few colors ring will be seen, and after that due to overlapping only the white light illumination is observed. So this is the pattern of Newton's ring if we use white light source in place of monochromatic source. So white light consists 7 colors and we observe these colored rings in Newton's ring pattern. Thank you.